Hey guys, I've got a better idea for you. So instead of going out and buying a slide hammer and buying a front wheel drive bearing toolkit in order to replace your front wheel drive bearing on your vehicle, a better idea is just to go and buy a used hub assembly, a used knuckle hub assembly with the brake shield and everything on it. That's going to be a lot easier than trying to replace a bearing on the vehicle, trying to do that down on the ground, trying to use those kits with the bolt that strips out all the time. You know the ones I'm talking about, the kits on Amazon for replacing front wheel drive bearings. Those main drive bolts that go through the middle of that with the cup and the plate and trying to push a bearing out. Those things strip out. Pain in the butt trying to do that on your knees down on the floor. A better idea is just to go buy a used steering knuckle spindle with everything already on it. So I've got a 2006 Honda Pilot that's got 215,000 miles, and the right front bearing is making noise. So I've got to replace the right front bearing. So what I did is I went and bought this steering knuckle here from LKQ, and I'm not sponsored by LKQ. I'm just telling you where I got it from. So I bought this from LKQ on eBay for $50. It's from a 2008 Honda Pilot with 180,000 miles. Let me turn this around so you can see the backside of it. There you go. Looks really good, doesn't it? Yeah, for $50. I don't even know how LKQ affords this because they shipped this to me, and they shipped it UPS. It's got to cost at least, I don't know, $30 to ship it, plus whatever cut eBay takes. I don't really know how LKQ makes any money off of this. Anyway, so my plan is I don't have to take the vehicle apart. The vehicle, I can keep driving the vehicle. I'm going to take this to a machine shop, and the machine shop's going to put in a new bearing for me, and they're going to do that for $50. So the bearing I got a BCA bearing here. You can see here, made in the USA. This is NTN is the company that owns BCA. This bearing was only $35 on Rock Auto. I got myself a little snap ring here from Dorman on Rock Auto. This was $5. So I've got $40 here in the bearing and the snap ring. And then I've got $50 here. And then I'm going to have $50 from a machine shop. So it's going to cost me $150 to get a brand new bearing into this spindle. And sure, that's a little bit more expensive than just doing it on the vehicle, but I'm saving a ton of time. I don't have to worry about something going wrong in the middle of replacing this bearing on the vehicle. I can just take it to a machine shop that's got all the right tools, has the right press, and they can press in the new bearing for me. And then I'll just come back when that's done, and I'll just put this whole steering knuckle on. So all I've got to do is put the strut on here. Strut goes here. This is where your brake caliper bracket goes. Down here is where your ball joint goes for your lower control arm. And then up here is your tie rod end. So that's it. I've just got to install this. Oh, and I forgot about this is for your anti-lock brakes, your speed sensor. So I've just got to I just have to take those things off, put the steering knuckle back on, and I'm ready to go. If I had gone the other route and I bought a slide hammer, a good slide hammer, 5-pound, 10-pound slide hammer is $100 for the kit. And then it's like $70 for a kit for doing the front wheel drive bearing kit, that's got the cups and the plates and the drive bolt and everything. So I would have been about $175, $180 in doing it that way, plus the cost of the bearing, plus the cost of the snap ring, and also probably buying a brand new hub, because when you use one of those kits to take this hub off, use a slide hammer to take this hub off, more than likely the race of the bearing is going to get stuck to this hub, and then you may damage the hub trying to take that race off. I'm going to let the machine shop worry about that. So this is just going to work out a lot better for me. I've seen lots of YouTube videos where guys buy those front wheel drive kits. Seen lots of videos where those guys buy those front wheel drive bearing kits with the plates and the cups, and they do this on their vehicle and they run into problems. I think this is a better alternative. There are so many used parts out there, especially if you have an older vehicle. If you have an older Honda, LKQ's got a bazillion used parts out there. Again, I'm not sponsored by LKQ. I'm not sponsored by Rock Auto. Those are just two companies that I think do a good job. And I'm going to take this route. Going to work out better for me. Gives me the luxury of just replacing this whenever I want to. I don't have to worry about not having a vehicle to go to work to on Monday, because I know that I can replace the spindle with no problem. There's a snap ring from Dorman. Snap ring, I think, is made in China. But the important thing is I've got a good bearing here. 35 bucks for this BCA bearing is a steal at Rock Auto. All right, guys, so there's my me being up on my soapbox. Don't try to do this on the vehicle yourself. Just get a spindle. Oh, and by the way, for some Hondas, you can actually buy the spindle with the bearing and the hub, brand new, made in China. So that's, I'm sure the spindle, the steering knuckle would be fine. That's cast iron. And I'm sure the hub would probably be fine. But my problem is that I'm not a big fan of bearings that are made in China. The bearings that are made in China don't last very long. And sometimes you get defective ones. So I'd rather know that I'm putting a good bearing in. I've got an OEM hub here, an OEM steering knuckle, OEM shield. All of this I know is going to fit perfectly. Yeah, I bought it used for 50 bucks from LKQ, but it's going to all work out awesome. All right, well, let me know your thoughts down below. If you think this is not the best idea, and if I should just if I should buy all those kits in the future and just do it on the vehicle. But I've seen too many of you guys out there struggle trying to use those kits, bending the cups, bending the plates, stripping out the bolts, and then being stuck there without a vehicle that will run because you got it all torn apart. Thanks for looking. Bye.